Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is Terry, and I'm just going to jump right into this. You know what I'm doing. I'm not going to waste any time. If I know something about this species or hybrid that I'm going to be potting up, I will make sure to let you know. Otherwise, I will just get to the repotting because I have a lot to do. The first plant up is Cattleya irrecolor, which, as you know, is a bucket list plant. This plant is a species. It is native to Ecuador and Peru, grows high up in the trees, gets a lot of light, gets a lot of moisture. It is it's a unifoliate and gets its growth during the growth season, which is May through the fall. Then it completes its growth, produces the sheaths, and then they bloom late winter into spring. The blooms are creamy white, and also the blooms are stimulated by the warming up of the temperatures because they are high up on mountains and sort of cooler mountains, although they do like cool to hot temperatures. The heating up of the spring from winter is what triggers these sheaths to fill up. So I really have to get this plant, and also it's the light that also makes the increase of the light. So let me move on over and get with it. So for this one, what I'm doing is I just have some peanuts just to add a little bit of aeration at the base, and there's some a little bit of leca in there. I will get lava for the next, but it can stand to be a little bit higher. But I will just top that with the bark to raise it up a bit, and you see that's perfect. The growths are all going in that direction, and this is known as a climber. So that's why I got this pot that is sort of deep rather than wide, because it is known as a climber. You can the growths kind of climb up that way. So I'm going to make that sure this side a little bit deeper. And then I'm just going to fill in. First, what I will do, so that I don't have to really hold it so much, I'm going to stake it. Okay, so now what I do is fill it in. This could stay staked up, and maybe I will, just for the heck of it. Go ahead and put a stake in this. Okay, here is the tag. I'll put the date on here. This is next plant up is the next one that I'm going to do is, I believe I'm going to put this is my Phalaenopsis Supra. I'm going to put it in this, and I have a little bit of this Phalaenopsis mix left, not much. And I might leave some of the sphagnum that is already around the roots. For now, I just want to get it in something. This is a species. Let me look at the roots. Yeah, you see the roots. Nice roots. And so they will go nicely. Take this other old stuff out of here. It will go nicely in here. I want to just set it in the center. Make sure the spikes are sticking out really well. And I'm going to put a little bit of, actually I'm going to put some of this what is it, cocoa husk and down in here just to give the plant something to support it. And it will also like that because it's got moisture retentive capabilities. I'm really going to try to use that more. And I got this Phalaenopsis mix, which is cocoa core, hydrogen, fir bark, and sponge rock. And it is the very bottom of it, so it's like basically nothing but dust. As you can see, it's like just sort of dust. So I'll tap that down. And I'm going to add a little bit more cocoa husk on this. Just so that it keeps more moist and does not dry. I'm trying to keep my Phalaenopsis more moist. And I will just put some bark on top of that. All right. That's my pulchra. Let me find the tag. The label, rather. And Grande. Okay. Here we go. And where's my pencil at? I bought a pencil over here. Anyway, I will find the pencil and we'll put the date on there. We'll water these really well and then set them aside and wait for some growth. This will be hanging in a shady location until I see some signs, as I've been saying. Okay, so while I am over here, I've got my Frag Grande and I'm not sure what I'm going to put this in yet. So I'm going to turn off the camera and reorganize myself. Or no, I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and pot something else up. I'll do this one later. So I don't want that big of a pot. And I think these might be too big. Yeah, I think that's a little too big. What do you think? So yeah, I am going to turn up the camera and get some more pots to pot these orchids up in. So I will be back in a flash. Okay, so next up on the list, as I was saying, this is Epidendrum. And what I decided to do was I'm going to put this in this. And it's got drainage, and you can see it's got holes all up and down the sides. And for this video, I'm just going to stick it in there just so that it's secure. So let me unwrap it. Now, Epidendrum or Epidendrum cristatum, cristatum is a reed stem epidendrum. And again, I'm going to leave some of this sphagnum because epidendrums like to be kept moist, although on the base I'm going to put some rock. And the rock will help the plant or just the pot, the plastic pot, to stay somewhat secure. So, and I want the base of the plant not to be below the lid or the rim. So I'm going to make sure that it's above, and I'm going to put a stake in here, and I can use this clip for this plant. So there it is. And actually I'm going to put a little bit of this cocoa husk. Well, it's not husk, it's cocoa chips. Just for the moisture. And then I'm going to put some bark in there. And on top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of sphagnum. And then put more bark. And I'm going to put a little bit of some charcoal. And this will help keep the media a little bit fresher, longer, and also it will add some aeration. And I will just put more bark. And this is not orchiata. I have a little bit of orchiata left. I should be getting some sometime shortly in the next week or so. And that is my rhiniferum. That is my rhiniferum. Now, if I can find the label. And what I'm going to do is rhiniferum, Epidendrum rhiniferum. If I can find a picture of the plant. And of course, this one doesn't even have a picture of it in there. So forget that on rhiniferum, but it is looks a little bit like Stanfordianum, and I have a picture of it. Honestly, I do, because mine bloomed for me before it died. I still need to find the tag for that, It is on one of these bags around here, and I will find it, and then I will put the tag in it. But let's move on, because I've got many more to do. Okay, why don't I go ahead and get this out of the way. This is the Fragmapedium Grande, and here's the tag on this one. These are really dependent on quality of water. They need almost pure water, and they like to almost be sitting in water. They don't ever want to dry out. They like warm temperatures, and they don't like too much light in the mid part of the day. These are terrestrial, I believe. Fragmapediums are. And this is a cross between longifolium and something. And don't want to tear this root. So there. And I'm going to leave some of that sphagnum loosely and figure out what I'm going to put it in. These do not want too big of a pot, and they would rather have one that was deeper than wide, and that really wouldn't be this one, but I think I'm just going to put it in this one right now. I could put it in this, and it might do better in this. Maybe I will, because I think that would be more suited for it. And look, it's just got babies, and I'm going to keep the plant together. You know, I'm just going to put that sphagnum in there at the base and set this there. And I'm going to put some cocoa chips here. Fragmapediums, as I said, they don't want to be dry. They can almost be sitting completely in a saucer of water. Well, not Fragmapediums, all of them I don't think. But I believe Grande is one that can. Going to need something to keep it upright until it gets in the pot, until it gets its roots dug in there. And let me give it a little bit more sphagnum. Okay, now I know, I forget, Ed is probably going to tell me that I'm doing this wrong. He's probably going to tell me to take the sphagnum out. Can't remember. If you're watching it, let me know. I can't remember. I know that I repotted my old Frag Grande, and you gave me instructions that what I had done was completely wrong. Maybe I had sphagnum in and you told me not to put the sphagnum in. But this is it. Let's put a little bit more bark here. Maybe hold that up a little bit more. And here is the tag. Frag Grande. Still got to find my pencil somewhere. And actually this Fragmapedium. Okay, so this is Grande. Right there, that is Grande. And as I said, halves require intermediate, regular year-round watering, semi-shade humidity. Best to allow plants to grow into large clumps. Okay, so that's my Frag Grande. All right. Next one is, I'm just going to do these two Skeptras and do them together. Well, not together, but I'm going to pot them up at the same time. This is a Prostechia, both of these are. So, Prostechias, I believe, prefer more intermediate range of temperatures as opposed to hot, but they can take some heat with shade. These Prostechias that I got are much bigger than the ones that I've previously seen, and they are bigger than the ones that I had before. And I mean, these are monsters. Look at that. And this sphagnum is really just sitting on the outside because this is all root ball. And I believe this plant had sheets on it. And it looks kind of beat up. But it is a really big plant. I'm really just going to put it in that pot right there. I'm going to undo this one. Now this one has a new growth coming and it's got the sheet there. Okay. So I'm back, and I'm going to do these Skeptras really quickly, not wasting much time. Skeptras, really just bark and sphagnum mixture, not bark and sphagnum, bark mixture and charcoal, and a little bit of just lava or rock in the bottom. So, and they do also climb up, as you can see, it's up, going up in a ladder. So, they would prefer a deeper pot. That's not even going to be deep enough, not hardly. Now with this one, that's got a new growth coming in. And this pot, I thought this pot was going to be big enough. I really don't think it is. Because, well, maybe. Actually, you know what? That's going to be good. That's going to be great. In fact, so I'm going to put some lava up in the bottom. And set that in there like I had it. Maybe unwrap some of those. You know what? I'm just going to leave the roots as they are because there really is no media in there. It's just roots. But maybe I'll spread them out a little bit just to, yeah, that'll be good. And set it in the middle. And I'm just going to put bark and charcoal. Just got the bark. And got my charcoal here. Bark, and that's that repot. Set this aside, and then for this one, yeah, that's nothing. Maybe that is what I'm going to do with that. That would be perfect. Perfecto. And let me set that in this just to stabilize it while I'm potting it. I'm going to put some rock in the bottom. And you can see all it is a little old gelato container that I drilled holes in, and you can see I am sticking it all the way to the back because the new growths are coming up this way. And I think I might put another piece of rock in there then bark. And really, for all intents and purposes, it is repotted or potted. I'm gonna put this stake in here, just for good measure. Maybe here. That is the Skeptra. Both of them. Oops. Okay, I'll put the tags in them soon. Next, I've got this Epidendrum Phalaenopsis. And then I've got those two. Oh, okay. So we are back. I've got my bags, and I've got my pot. I've got this Epidendrum. And actually, I think I'm gonna put the Epidendrum in this. No, I can't put it in this. I'm gonna put it in one of these. And I am gonna pop this up in a mixture of sphagnum and those cocoa chips. You can see the roots. This is Epidendrum Phalaenopsis. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm putting it in this. And I've got some rock in here, the base. And then I'm just gonna put that sphagnum these will appreciate the moisture. And we got this cocoa chips, which will also keep it a little bit more moist so that they won't have to be watered as often. There, and I got a little piece of rock. Bit of charcoal, and that's Epidendrum Phalaenopsis. You can see there's a kiki there with roots. The tops look okay. Some of the leaves are brown. I will probably need some water. Here's the tag, and I will set this to the side. Then I have this is the Peffenhopia, I believe. I think this is the Peffenhopia. I have a Gongora here somewhere. But I think this is the Peffenhopia. Before I do that, I know this is, you know what I'm talking about. This is Dendrobium Forbesii. This is a Lacturia dendrobium from Papua New Guinea. It blooms in the wintertime from sheets at the top of the growth. They do not like to dry out. There's a new growth coming down there. I'm gonna put this in a clay pot and just put lava rock, mostly lava rock. But I think I'm gonna put some cocoa chips as well, because that's different. These, like I said, these do not like a lot of water. They like cooler temperatures. They like good drainage. But overall, they like to have a consistent moisture at the roots. And that's what I'm giving it right now with these cocoa chips. And hopefully the bark, the rock at the bottom will give it the drainage it needs. But I think the moisture is more important. And on top of this, I put a little bit of bark and some charcoal. Now my other lactorias, I would probably just use straight bark or rock mostly, but this is one of the more moisture cooler from higher elevations in the mountains, so they like it cooler and they like it wetter. So I'm trying to allow for that with the cocoa husk, and I'm just weighting it down a little bit with some more rock. And that's pretty much how I'm gonna leave that. And this is Dan Forbesii. And again, I will be looking for the tag, but I know that that's what this is. And I'm gonna set this over here and keep it moving. All right. So here is this is Gongora quinquenervis. This is the Prostechia tag. Gongora. Now Gongoras are similar to Stanhopias. They want to be moist while they're growing, a little bit less when they're not. They want to be, and they want to get decent light, but not overly full sun. Gongoras, unlike Stanhopias, they put up their growths and then they get little spikes that trail over the top of the media until it reaches the other side, and then they get pendant in their little dragon shaped plants. For this one, I'm gonna put it in this little plastic pot because it's got a little bit more growing to do, and these other pots are a little bit too much for it. So I'm gonna set it in that little plastic pot and put the bottom of it in with rock. And I'm gonna put some of these cocoa chips down there. Like Stanhopias, they like the moisture when they are growing. Stanhopias like to be in sphagnum. So I'll put the cocoa chips in there and I'll top dress it with a little bit of sphagnum, which is where the roots are. Give a little bit of extra. Quinquenervis is a very pretty flower. It gets, it's like white with red stripes going through it, maybe some spots. And like I said, the flowers look like little dragons to me, little insects, and they hang down pendantly. And there is a fragrance to Quinquenervis. I want to say it is a cinnamon, no, either a cinnamon, or I think it's a cinnamon fragrance. So yeah, that's Gongora quinquenervis. And I will set that aside. All right, we are getting there. Okay, so the next one, this is my Peffenia, which is Doug Kennedy. And this is a cross between a Peffenia species, I don't think it's Suavis. Peffenia, I can't remember. But it's a Peffenia crossed with a Stanhopea, and I think it's Stanhopea genishana, or it could be Ecornatu. I'll put it in the description. But these, like I said, these pretty much are the same as like the Gongora that I just potted up. I'm gonna put it in this clay pot, and I'm actually risking putting it in this clay pot because I should probably put this in a net pot so that if it spikes, the spikes will go down, but I don't think it's mature enough. So I'm just gonna put it in this pot and keep my eye on it. And so the same as the other one, I'm gonna put the rock to secure some of those roots and the base of the plant in there. And this is the front of the plant. So I'm gonna add those cocoa chips, and Peffenias like moisture as well. They're in the same family as Stanhopias, except they're miniature plants. And they do get pendant spikes as well that do not go down below. Now see, I'm messing up because you can see I should not be potting it that low. So I need to lift it up a bit because that would be a mistake. That is where I need to have it, especially since I'm trying to make sure that I catch any potential spikes that may be going down in the wrong direction, so I can make sure that they go out if that happens, because this plant is borderline bloom size. So yeah, I think ECUAGENERA really showed out for me, and maybe they are just trying to correct some of the past problems that they've had with their imports, and maybe it could be due to the Florida operation really stabilizing things here stateside, and reducing just damaged plants, just the transportation. So anyway, there is my Peffenhopia. Sorry, that's Peffenhopia, and I will put that aside as well. These all will get watered, and I'll put them in shady locations and watch them for a while and make sure that they don't get, just make sure that they are not getting too much sun until they're acclimated. So, found my Skepta tags. And really, I've only got one more plant, and that is, this is my Epidendrum, and this is the diffusum. And this is a species. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mount this with the rest of my diffusum, which is on here already, and then you can see it's dead, the majority of it. There might be some okay parts on it, but I am just going to get a tie, and I'm just going to put it here and put it around there, and that's it. Probably dress it with some more of this live sphagnum moss, but that's pretty much all I'm going to do with it. I will just put the moss over here that it was on the other side of it, and then I'm going to get a tie and just tie it down. So let me go grab that tie, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my ties, and like I said, I'm just going to zip tie the plant onto this mount. Like that. And I got another one that I'm going to thread through here. And tie it like the other. Just tightening that zip tie. And really, that's how that is going to be. What I am going to do, you know, I can dunk it like that. I'll put more of this moss. Oh yeah, I don't have any out here. And just have it going on down this way to the root ball, which is here. Just having the moss continue on down this way. This is Epidendrum. And that is my haul. Let me turn this off and then I'll show you everything. Okay, well here I am and here are the plants. Here is my Epidendrum compressum. And this is what I just mounted onto there. And as I said, I'm gonna put some moss and just drip it down over those roots. But again, a nice sized plant mounted. They like not to be dried out, the species. Then down here on this side, my Skeptras, which are here, Phalaenopsis Supra. And there, these two, here is my Fragmapedium Grande. And there, this is the Cattleya Irrecolor, which is in that pot there. Those three sheaths. Beside here is Phalaenopsis Supra with a spike there and another spike there. Planted up in sphagnum and cocoa chips. Behind there are two Peffenhopia types. This one is Peffenhopia, Peffenhopia Doug Kennedy. Peffenhopia Doug Kennedy, which is a Peffenhopia times Stanhopia. Gets bug little red and white flowers. And then next to that is Gongora quinquenervis, which is a fragrant little dragon-like flower that is pendant on a long spike. Behind that, next to here, this is my Den Forbesii species. Gets really nice, very glossy, fragrant of honey, intense honey, and very long lasting. That's Forbesii. And then behind here is Schwifferthianum. And then beside here is the last one. Last but not least, it's my Epidendrum cristatum or Epireniferum. And that, folks, is my very good haul that I just got from ECUAGENERA. I'll plan it up as it will be in my collection. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Enjoy your orchids.